Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
Who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And who is he?
Bruce Rivers, he's the criminal lawyer.
And what he do?
And it's gonna react to all the self-snitching.
Hi, this is Bruce Rivers. Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Criminal Lawyer Reacts. I'm Bruce Rivers, board-certified criminal defense lawyer. We're reacting to the indictment and first appearance by Donald Trump. Before we get to that, this is brought to you by eSign.com. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely sign documents. So let's say you fly into New York because you got an indictment and you're in your hotel and your lawyer says, I need more money. And so you need to get a new agreement signed as quickly as possible. So you do eSign.com. You download the app, you get 3 free signatures a month, and you sign the document. Everything's good. You don't even have to leave your hotel room. eSign.com is a very effective way to remotely do business. I personally use it when I have a client that's out of town or just can't make it to the office. Email a retainer agreement with an e-signature at the bottom of it. So you go eSign.com. It's an effective way to remotely do business. Now let's talk a little bit about what Trump's doing. So last night, Trump flew into New York from Mar-a-Lago. Okay? And so what's in store for him today? Well, when you have an initial appearance, he's doing what they call self-surrendering. He's going to have his fingerprints taken. He's going to have his mugshot booked, or mugshot taken. He's going to have to appear in front of a judge, and he's going to have to assert whether he's guilty or not guilty, because they'll do the arraignment and the first appearance. And then, it's over 30 counts, and it's over 30 counts of business fraud. But we haven't seen the indictment yet because it hasn't been sealed. Once he makes his court appearance, they will unseal the indictment. Once they unseal the indictment, we'll see the strength or weakness of the government's case. But anybody who's been talking about this up until now does not know what the evidence is. It's only been in front of the grand jury. Nobody knows what the evidence is unless you are privy to what the grand jury has already seen. So what's the process? So they'll have him stand, sit in a room that's just off of the courthouse or courtroom. He won't be taken into custody. There won't be any of that. He will have a initial appearance, and there's 2 things that they basically do at the initial appearance. They read a copy of the complaint for you, or you can have it waive reading. Generally, if you can read and write, you waive the reading of the complaint. And then they determine conditions of release. Well, there won't be any conditions of release. Everybody knows where he is at all times, and he's got an entourage of Secret Service protecting him. And here's the security around the courthouse is going to be immense. And let's hope that the New York Police Department is better equipped and better trained, more prepared than January 6th. And then they'll set it on for a motions hearing, because one of the first things that his lawyers are going to do, and they've probably already drafted it, is file a motion to dismiss his case. And keep in mind, you only need probable cause to get beyond that. So in other words, it's got to be slightly more true than not true. But once we get a copy of the indictment, we'll have a better handle on what his ultimate exposure is, and to see what he is facing in terms of government needs to prove in order to prove that he is a felon. Now, we know for a fact that the Stormy Daniels allegations are in there. So the Stormy Daniels allegations are that he used money from Michael Cohen to pay off this porn star, and that he reimbursed Michael Cohen. And when he did that, he disguised those reimbursements to Michael Cohen as what? As legal fees. So that is going to be a problem for Trump because that's a misdemeanor. But the whole purpose behind it, whether it was a misdemeanor or a felony, lies in the intent. So if he tries to maintain that I just didn't want Melania to find out about this, blah, 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 all they really have to do is have that be by, a preponderance of the evidence. So the government's going to try to show that he had a political motive, that it was part of his political campaign. He was hiding it from his political campaign, in which case it's an in-kind contribution, in which case you can infer the intent from that. Now, they also talked to David Pecker. David Pecker is important too. Why is David Pecker important? because there's another one, McDougal, and she was paid off as well. Not as familiar with the timing on McDougal, but the problem that Trump is going to have is that there's going to be Michael Cohen's going to testify at this trial, and he already has testified in front of the grand jury. There's a mountain of documents that support what Michael Cohen is saying. You couldn't take him in his word because he's got a felony conviction for lying to Congress, and among other things. So, but remember, he was Donald Trump's confidant for 10 years. 10 years. So you are the company that you keep, and he chose to keep him around for a long time. So what's the next step then? So the next step is they'll file a motion to dismiss. Once they file the motion to dismiss, how is that going to play out? Well, they file a motion, then you have a briefing schedule, and typically, if it doesn't go his way, he can't go up on appeal to do what they call an interlocutory appeal. I don't believe that he's got that right under New York law. So if he loses that motion to dismiss, then they'll set it for a settlement conference or pretrial, and then a trial after that. So it'll be some time before a trial is going to start for Donald Trump. So this has just been our quick update on what's going to happen with Donald Trump when he appears on his indictment. It's really anticlimactic, but we'll see what happens with the crowd in front of the courthouse. We're going to see what happens down the road, what kind of evidence they show, and we're going to be following this. So we'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts. Make sure you subscribe, follow us on Patreon, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter. We'll see you next time here on Criminal Lawyer Reacts.
Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you about to face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gon' get you put away. 23-hour lockdown, please just let my go.